You ever ask someone what their fitness goal or what their goal with losing weight is, and they just grab their fucking side and say, I want to lose weight right here. I'm sorry, but you can't just do that unless you get liposuction. This episode is about spot reduction, which is the incorrect belief that you can lose weight in specific parts of your body, especially through focused exercise. For example, some people think they can lose stomach fat by doing crunches. I used to be this way because I was fucking stupid. This has been known for a very long time that you can't, just exercise or lose weight in specific areas without surgery. We've known this for a long time, but people still think it's possible. This was an insanely common thing that I saw when I used to work at a Blink Fitness at the beginning of my whole fitness knowledge journey as a trainer there in the Bronx. Now, if you don't know, in the Bronx, in New York, there's a very, very heavy Latino population. I think mostly from the Dominican Republic, maybe Puerto Rican as well. I think mostly Dominican. And it was mostly the women doing this. But when I worked there, I would see many, many women come in with the, what do you call the waist trainer, the waist strap, basically like a shitty corset that would hold all of their stomach together so that they looked slim. And they thought, hey, if I keep doing this, I'm going to be thinner because my body will be pressed in that way. I'll just lose the weight there, right? And I know this because people have asked me that and said that they thought that was the case. I really regret early on in my helping people career, whatever you want to call it, that I was stricter with calories and the explanation of that because there were so many people who they were going the wrong fucking way, and I tried to say, hey, how about the eating? How's that? But they weren't hearing it. Nowadays, I don't fucking. If you're unwilling to track calories in any way whatsoever, we cannot work together. That's not happening. It always ends poorly. I get blamed for it, and the person doesn't get what they want. We all lose. I remember I might have said this on this. Might have said this before, but there was right before COVID. I was working at a YMCA, and I was speaking to this woman who was my client for a bit, and she wanted to lose weight, but just through exercise. She didn't want to worry about food whatsoever. I told her, it's pretty important. If you don't do that, I can't guarantee you're going to lose weight the way you want to. I was like, I don't care. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to try to exercise, whatever. And she was like not crazy overweight, just just a bit, somewhat overweight. Like she was very salvageable. You know what I mean? I mean everyone's salvageable, but she can get to probably her most ideal body within a year. If you tracked her calories, of course. So after a couple months or so, she's like, you know what, this isn't working. In my head, I'm thinking, I knew this was coming, but I wanted her to figure this out, I guess. Even though I warned her. She's like, I'm just gonna go to Mexico and there's a doctor I know who has these pills that can help me lose weight. And I'm thinking, oh, this is who I'm trying to convince over here. All right. All right. Now, of course, she's one of those people who wanted to lose weight in her stomach specifically without doing anything regarding exercise, or rather, anything regarding food. Here's the thing about spot reduction, it's not real, and you lose weight everywhere at the same time. So, if you want to lose weight in one specific place, you just have to lose weight. Now, if you want to change how you're shaped at a particular weight, that's where exercise can come in. There is such a thing as being skinny fat. You lose a bunch of weight, but you're still kind of weirdly flabby because there's no muscle on you. You're just kind of skin and bone. Although those people are slightly overweight too, but not too much. However, it shows itself in a weird way if you don't have any muscle. So, if you do want to lose weight in a particular place, well, you can't do that by itself. You have to lose weight everywhere, and then that particular place will lose weight along with the rest of your body. And then also in the meantime, you can exercise so that when the excess body fat is gone, the rest of you will look better and probably more the way that you're thinking of anyways. But for some reason, people still think, hey, I can lose weight in just my stomach, just my arms, just my hips, just my thighs. No, 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 you can't. You can't do that. But a lot of people do think they can do that. And what this does is leads to a lot of wasted time and money, mental effort. I still see this to this day. And I don't know what it is with Latinas, and I can say this because I'm Latino. Fuck you. They fall victim to this shit so fucking hard, especially with the waist trainers. I don't think I've ever seen like a white woman wear, or a black woman, or an Asian woman, or anyone wear a waist trainer before. I'm assuming different cultures have different, you know, stupid ways to lose weight, different kinds of scams. But the waist trainer, I know there's this woman at the gym I go to now, or one of the gyms I go to now. So I have a gym at work, thankfully. The one I go to on my own time, there's a woman who's Latina, of course. She has this waist trainer on. I'm thinking, whenever I see that, I try to imagine, like, what if they didn't wear that? I'm looking at, like, the rest of their body composition. I'm thinking, are they really that out of shape, overweight, fat, whatever? And I'm like, I think this woman is probably totally fine without that. I'm wondering why she's wearing it. Well, it's probably because she thinks, hey, I want a thinner waist, so I'm going to wear this forever. I mean, I don't know. I haven't spoken to her, but I'm basing this on people I've spoken to in the past who thought the same way and did the same thing. Thinking, hey, I want a thinner waist. I'm going to wear this waist trainer until I am thinner there. Not knowing that that is just part of the experience when you lose weight as a whole. You're going to lose weight everywhere. And that's something a lot of people don't think about. They're going to lose weight everywhere. So especially women, they think, oh, I just want to lose weight in my waist. I want to keep my butt. I want to do all this shit. No, the only way you can lose weight in your waist is to lose weight in your butt too. That's it. Now, what you can do is strength train, and then the rest of you will be shaped in a better way. So you can, in a way, keep your butt, probably improve it too. But no, you cannot pick and choose where you lose weight. That is called liposuction. Now, genetics do play a part in the fat. For example, those people who are thinking, oh man, the last part to lose weight is like my stomach or my thighs. That's somewhat legit. Like, obviously, you still need to just lose more weight, and then that will also decrease. But the way that the actual body fat is distributed is, a lot of it is due to the genetics of it. That's just how it is. But it doesn't mean, oh my God, your fucking waist and thighs are going to be fat for it. No, just lose weight. All that will come along for the ride, for the weight loss ride. You just have to keep going. If you feel like it's not happening, you want to lose weight in one specific area, keep fucking going. It's going to take longer. That's it. You can't just suck the fat out, do some crunches, and be done. That's not how it works. My dumbass in the past thought, even crazier than, oh, I can lose weight in my stomach if I do crunches. I thought I could harden my fat if I did sit-ups. Harden the fat on my stomach. Oh man, I can get a really sick six-pack because I already have all this fat. Let me just do crunches and sit-ups and I can just turn that straight up into muscle. Good fucking Lord. That's not how it works. But you know what? I used to be dumb back in the day. Some people are still dumb in that respect. Hopefully they know sit-ups do not equal lost fat in the stomach. Not at all. What it can cause is when you do lose weight that you have a more pleasing rectus abdominis, but I don't really like sit-ups and crunches. I think they're fucking stupid. Unless you're a fighter, that can be helpful, that movement. But in terms of like having abs or whatever, I think honestly just doing compound movements very challengingly will get you, because your core is involved in that anyway, so just do that. But that's beside the point. There are so many people who do crunches and sit-ups for a six-pack. They do, some of these leg machines because they think their thighs are too fat. Now, some of the research I've done for this, I found out that there's such a thing called toning shoes that used to exist. I don't remember what that is. I don't know if that's the same as another thing where it's like kind of this platform, and not those vibrational platforms really, but something kind of maybe a predecessor to it where you would stand on it and you would kind of vibrate or move or something like that, shake, and then you would lose weight. I'm assuming that I don't know what the fuck the shoes are. I don't know. And you know what? I'm just remembering that editing exists, so I'm going to look it up. Toning shoes were not anything what I thought they were. They're something much more recent, the late 2000s, early 2010s. Basically shoes that were shaped like a rocking chair, and the bottom was kind of weird. And what that was supposed to do is kind of the idea behind related to high heels where women are, upright and they're kind of, they're kind of doing like a calf raise the whole time, right? Now with this, the claim is that based on the way that the shoe is shaped, you're gonna be toning your your legs and your butt and losing weight there. Good fucking Lord. You can't lose weight in your butt by walking. I don't know what people were thinking with this. And I assume due to just, general balance and walking, yeah, maybe it works like a really, really shitty calf raise every half second, but probably not even anywhere near close to just, fucking squatting or something. Doing jumps or whatever, like something more effective. That is crazy. Anyway, that kind of stuff has turned into things like waist trainers, like I said, and targeted fat loss supplements, which I didn't know. I guess I did have seen these before, but I kind of blocked that out of my mind because it was just blatantly bullshit. I didn't feel like wasting brain space thinking about it. That's really silly. I'm assuming you take pills or powder or whatever, and then it's like, oh, yo, burn belly fat. I don't know how the fuck that works, but okay. Anyway, some people who fall for this spot reduction myth are people who have, unfortunate fat distribution spots. Those people who have that issue where the last bit of fat they lose is around the love handles or maybe the lower stomach or thighs or something like that. And like I said, if you just keep losing weight, that will be, quote unquote, fixed as well. Some people think, oh no, I have only a problem in that area and I need to get rid of that. No, the issue is actually that you're just kind of overweight in general. Not that much, potentially, but still overweight. And you just need to lose that excess weight and then you'll be good. Or just exercise a shit ton and you'll be shaped better in general. Because if people are really, fit and they have a bit of excess fat on them, it looks much differently than if you're just a lazy piece of shit and are just kind of fat. So if you're worried about appearances, that is an option. And so, other people who may suffer from this are people with body dysmorphia. They become, obsessed with kind of fixing their body, making it as perfect as possible, getting liposuction here and there. There's actually a popular guy called Dr. Mike Israetel from Renaissance Periodization. Check on what is it, RP Strength or whatever it is on YouTube. Generally, I like his stuff. I don't like his opinion on weight loss drugs at all, but generally pretty smart guy. But this guy, he somewhat recently went through like a disgusting looking kind of weird liposuction type of surgery for his waist because he just wasn't satisfied. He was saying, he was showing a picture in the video saying, in this one, I clearly have giant, love handles and it looks terrible. I'm thinking this guy is fucked in the head. He does not. That's not even remotely what I'm looking at right now. But the reason he said, oh yeah, I have, my certain fat cells or whatever. Like he understands fitness and calorie stuff and all that stuff, right? Like he understands the science of it all. Yet because he thought, oh, that's not good enough. Then he got this fucking weird ass liposuction on the side, and it looks terrible, really bloody. I was thinking of getting, when I was a bit younger, I was thinking of getting maybe some skin tightening surgery a bit because I have a little bit of extra skin due to losing 100 pounds. But seeing that, I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I can deal with this because that looks, oh Lord, that looks fucking insane. But yeah, even people who are very fit, strong, whatever, they can still suffer from not thinking that their body is just normal or good enough. So they want to spot reduce. And like I said, the only real way to do that is to get surgery. And that's what he did. So you know what? Fucking fair enough. But there's some people who have love handles and they do that fucking dangerous as shit lateral bend. They grab a weight and they just bend to the side, not realizing that their spine doesn't really like being under that much fucking load while it's bent over. And they're, just doing that dangerous shit to reduce love handles and fat there or whatever. That's not how it works. Let's play a devil's advocate though. Some studies show slightly increased blood flow to areas being exercised, which could theoretically enhance lipolysis in that region. I don't know what the fuck lipolysis is. It relates to fat, of course. I'm assuming it's something that has a negligible effect. Let me look this shit up real quick. So lipolysis, or probably lipolysis, because English is dumb, is the metabolic process by which fats, lipids, are broken down in the body. The claim that increased blood flow can help with lipolysis is why people it's basically been debunked. Like some people think that means spot reduction is a thing, right? But no, the evidence shows consistently that fat loss occurs systemic, like throughout the entire body, rather than just where you're exercising. This lipolysis is about the actual, I think, if I'm reading this right, it's about the macronutrient fat, not the actual excess body weight, which is hilarious because that's something people fuck up all the time. Anyway, that devil, gone. Fuck you. Next devil. Certain hormonal conditions or medical interventions can create region-specific fat loss patterns. I am not a doctor, so I'm just gonna kind of guess at this. I'm gonna assume that some of this stuff is basically like the genetic thing where the body has, the fat deposits in different areas. So it might seem like, all these conditions or hormones are affecting the fat loss. But I am pretty sure, because of physics, if you just lost more weight, you would be good. Now, it's possible the amount of weight you've had to lose with that certain condition might create other problems. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But you lose more weight, more of the excess weight will come off you. That's just how it is. A lot of people like to use hormones as an excuse, but it's not really that much of a big deal. TBH. If at all. Next devil. Different body areas have different types of fat cells with varying metabolic properties and responses to exercise. Yeah, I think the fat cells thing is a bit different depending on your body, which may or may not influence the fat deposits, how they show up. That doesn't fucking mean that losing weight overall is not the only way that it works, though. It's not. Some of these counter arguments are fucking stupid. Basically, no, it doesn't matter if you exercise a shit ton. It's not. Now, this might be something that confuses people. If you exercise, you gain a lot of muscle. Your body burns more calories at rest. So maybe some people think, if I just work out my legs, I'm gonna lose weight, and then my legs are gonna be thicker with muscle, and I lost weight overall because of the greater calorie burn at rest. And then it seems like I'm spot reducing. Yeah, maybe you can trick someone like that, but that's not how the entire process works. You lose weight everywhere. What you see once you lose the weight on your body is determined by your exercise. Okay, let's go into some stats over here. Now, to get some obvious shit out of the way, a 2013 study in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research found that 12 weeks, 3 months of abdominal exercises had no effect on abdominal fat or waist circumference compared to control groups. No fucking shit. Now, they're doing a bunch of abdominal exercises. The muscles probably going to look in a way that you like, but you still can't see them. So, until you lose weight overall. This one's wild. 78% of fitness enthusiasts believe in some form of spot reduction despite overwhelming scientific evidence against it. That's wild. So 4 out of 5 people believe spot reduction exists. Fucking hell. The average person will try 4 to 6 different spot reduction methods before accepting that they don't work. I think for me it was maybe 1 or 2. I think. I mean, hey, if you're starting out, you're kind of dumb or whatever, that stomach one makes a little sense, Or at least you hope it makes sense at the time. 91% of fitness infomercials, which I'm not sure if they exist anymore, promote some form of spot reduction or targeted fat loss. Like, you want to lose fat in your butt or blah, blah, blah. Now, those things might actually result in losing fat in your butt, but it's going to result in losing fat everywhere. So it's kind of it's misleading. Women have approximately 6 to 11% more body fat than men naturally, yet are targeted for 73% of spot reduction marketing. As I said, women get the fucking shaft with fitness as per usual. Because their bodies are slightly different. And they think, fitness is a man thing. So they don't know what's going on. They fall for a bunch of shit because they're targeted and fed all these fucking lies. It's unfortunate. I've never seen a man with a waist trainer before. Individuals who focus on overall fat loss through, nutrition, proper nutrition, caloric deficit, and exercise lose 3.4 times more fat than those focusing on spot reduction, which makes sense. Someone's trying to focus on one little part of their body as opposed to the other person who's losing weight everywhere. I mean, one of them is going to be successful. The other is going to be sad. This one's funny. A person would need to perform about 250,000 crunches to burn 1 pound of fat through exercise alone. This is when I laugh when people say, yeah, of course you can lose weight by just exercising. You just run a marathon every day. Like, yeah, I guess you fucking could. But your life is going to be dog shit and you might die early because you're doing too much. You want to lose a pound by doing 250,000 fucking crunches. Just focus on the caloric deficit and lose weight everywhere. Just please. 2/3 of personal trainers report regularly having to correct client misconceptions about spot reduction. Yeah, that's very common. I wouldn't say 2 out of 3 though. But if it comes up, it is pretty common. Like, oh yeah, I want to lose weight here. I'm like, you're gonna have to lose weight everywhere, man. The average waist trainer or slimming belt user spends 120 to 180 on products that show no scientific evidence of targeted fat loss. Which makes sense. If they buy one of those, they'll probably pay for other things like the Herbalife type shit or various other things. So how do you survive the spot reduction myth? Accept the fact that your body loses weight overall gradually. That's the only thing you can do. Accept it or get liposuction. Now, when I say you lose weight overall, it is partially, like I said, determined by genetics, your fat storage. Like for men, for example, the lower stomach is where a lot of the last bit of fat is going to be. For women, it's more around the legs, thighs, whatever. But regardless, just keep losing weight and that will go away as well. Toning is also a big issue with this. Like just the concept, the marketing term of toning, where people think, oh, you exercise. They're toning exercises, and at the same time, you're going to lose fat and gain muscle in that area. Fucking no. Toning and spot reduction go together so well in the bullshit sandwich. I hate them both. Being toned means having some muscle on you and having a low enough body fat to see some of that muscle. Here's another tip, by the way. If you want abs, you need to not only develop your muscle by, I would recommend doing heavy, challenging compound exercises, like fucking squatting, and having a low enough body fat percentage to see it. Now, for men, this is typically about 15% body fat or lower, and you can see it. I don't know what level that you can see it at that point, but you'll be able to see something. For women, it's 22% body fat. You'll be able to see some abs. You notice that's a huge difference. For men, it's 15%. For women, it's almost a fourth. Women, as I said, have more body fat naturally. And people love taking advantage of that fact. And another thing I recommend, take pictures. As always, when you're making progress, take pictures and study the whole picture, okay? With progress pictures, often when you start off overweight, you're going to notice the stomach going down the most. But don't just pay attention to that and think, oh man, I'm just reducing my stomach. No, look at the rest of you. The arm, the shoulder, the back, the legs, all that stuff. Look at everything. They may change slower, but they are changing as well. Don't focus on the biggest thing and say, oh yeah, I'm targeting that. No, all of it's happening. Everything, everywhere, all at once. And you know what? Sometimes due to genetics, even if you have a fairly, somewhat low body fat percentage, you still might show something somewhere. It's just genetic. Now, yes, you can just keep losing weight and get rid of that too, but you know what? That's your choice if you want to. Sometimes you just got to be like, you know what? I'm X% body fat. I'm quite healthy. I'm fit. I just, I have a bit of an unfortunate thing going on with my lower belly just a little bit, but it's okay. But you can do something about it. Just let you know. What I'm saying is genetically, sometimes it might, this might be a bit unfortunate, the distribution of the fat, but you still have control. Anyway, what's the silliest spot reduction myth you found? The sit-ups turning my fat ass stomach into abs was mine. I believed that for way too long. Way before I became a trainer, by the way. I wasn't fucking dumb even that early on in my training career. What was yours? Leave it in the comments. Anyway, I hope you make it. See you next time.